Hello everyone and welcome to my General Hospital Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Drew creates a monster. Will this villain emerge as the biggest threat? General Hospital spoilers indicate that Drew Kane may be creating a monster. There's a new enemy who could emerge as Drew's biggest threat. So let's see where this J's tale goes from here. Drew and Councilman Ezra Boyle have become a troublemaking combo since forming their partnership. Of course, this relationship has the potential to generate a lot more controversy. Drew was thrilled when Ezra transformed Mayor Laura Collins' news appearance into a complete circus. Between Ezra's efforts and Jordan Ashford's departure, Drew had plenty of cause to assume Laura's political career would be over. If Ezra follows Drew's instructions exactly, Drew believes his ally has a good chance of becoming the next mayor of Port Charles. Drew then wants Ezra to continue doing everything he says and serve as his lackey. However, Drew may be underestimating Ezra's abilities. Ezra is a real sleazeball who knows how to get down in the mud, so he could become the menace Drew doesn't expect. Drew's intention to assist Ezra in obtaining the mayoral position raises the possibility that this collaboration will go awry. That leads us back to the possibility that Drew is developing a monster, especially if Ezra decides he is done following the congressman's directives. The show has hinted at a possible whodunit for Drew, so that is something to consider. If Drew is harmed or dies in a mystery involving numerous suspects, Ezra may ascend to the top of the suspect list. Regardless, Ezra may be as murky as Drew, which might make him dangerous in more ways than one. If nothing else, Ezra may eventually target Drew and undermine his political career, just as they are attempting to do with Laura. Drew is the type of man who always believes he's the smartest person in the room, but Ezra may be smarter than he realizes. Drew clearly sees Ezra as a minion, but Ezra may grow tired of seeing Drew be the top dog. According to General Hospital spoilers, Ezra may strike back and have the upper hand in the future, so keep an eye out for any bad news for Drew. It's Dante's birthday, but Rocco has bad news for Sunny, and Felicia puts Carly in a tough spot. Thursday, April 17, 2025. Today on General Hospital, Dante celebrates his birthday, Brooklyn and Chase make a decision, and Felicia does something for Carly. Jordan is emptying up her office when Curtis walks in. So she resigned. He inquires as to what is going on, and Jordan simply states that she and Laura had a disagreement, and she felt she had no alternative. Excellent, Curtis observes. Now what is the truth? She has self-control, and the only other time he's seen her acting out of character like this was when working undercover. I'm gonna stop you right there. She promised herself not to lie to him again. It took effort to get back where they are, so just let it go and embrace her true feelings. Okay, he lost the right to demand her explain everything when they split, so he'll let it go. However, it comes with a price. Rocco doesn't want Sunny around. Olivia compliments Sunny's new digs, claiming she would have hosted Dante's party at the Quartermains, but didn't want to deal with Tracy. Lulu walks in, and Olivia cheerfully greets her. Lois enters with Christina, Danny, and Gio, whom she introduces to Lulu, who recalls seeing Martin's notes about Dante and Brooklyn's child. Christina is about to go to collect Dante when Donna interrupts her to show off her new workstation. Sunny goes outside instead. Out on the terrace, Dante inquires about Rocco's well-being, and his son eventually acknowledges that he is upset about his grandparents. He is the link between them that everyone is talking about and complaining about, and he believes that having them both attend his debate will exacerbate the situation. The only thing he can think of is if Grandpa does not attend his debate, which Sunny overhears as he walks outside. That isn't what it sounded like, Dante begins, but Sunny insists it's all right and asks Rocco what's going on. He is concerned about Sunny and Laura being seen together. Sunny agrees and only requests that they record it. He's proud that Rocco is looking out for his grandmother. Alone, Sunny assures Dante that everything will be fine. They all go in to sing Dante a happy birthday and cut into the cake, which appears to be far too little for all of them. Lois tells Lulu how Sunny has always been there for Gio and her family. Then it is revealed that Sunny will not be attending Rocco's argument, stating that something came up, and Olivia yanks him outside to shout at him. It is not an option for him to be there. Dante rushes out to defend Sunny, and Olivia storms back in. He offers to tell Olivia, but Sunny would rather her be angry with him than Rocco. Alexis is upset with Marco. Lucas cautions Marco at Alexis and Diane's that Jason is not a guy to get into a fight with. Alexis arrives and inquires whether Lucas is looking for her. No, he came to congratulate Marco on the job. A little premature, Alexis remarks. Diane informed her about Marco and Sidwell, which surprised Lucas. Marco says he did not mislead or conceal anything, and that no one asked him about his parents. Did they ask another candidate? Lucas rushes away, leaving them, and Alexis informs Marco that there are still lies of omission. He acknowledges he didn't reveal his relationship on purpose, but he assumed Alexis, of all people, would understand, distancing herself from the Cassidy name and creating her own path. He intends to do the same. That is good, but Sidwell is also Marco's customer, and she cannot have clients who want to kill each other. Marco simply hopes that she will assess him on his own merits. Felicia has a favor to ask Carly. Carly sits down at her kitchen table to tell Felicia how Michael is doing. He's doing well, the skin grafts are working, and he's eager to return home, but she doesn't have the heart to tell him about Willow moving the kids in with Drew. She apologizes for ranting, and Felicia explains that she came over for a reason. Mac believes that the Esplanade referendum is making Laura appear terrible, rather than her standing up to Sunny herself. He urges Sunny to accept the voters' decision and not dispute it. Carly doubts it will happen, which is why Felicia says she needs to speak with Sunny and persuade him to do this. Carly does not want to get back into Sunny's business now that they are in a good place. Felicia understands, but losing his peers might make Port Charles safer for everyone, including her family. Carly is not even sure if it is possible. People rarely walk away from Sunny's business. Lucas tells Carly about Marco. When Lucas comes, Felicia knows it's time to leave. As soon as she leaves, Lucas inquires whether Jason is targeting Marco. Who is Marco? Miami Marco? Yup. He got a job with Alexis and Diane, and it turns out he is Sidwell's son. That explains why Jason has a problem. She tells Lucas what Jen's done to her, and Lucas wishes someone had told him. Now he and Marco can't meet. Carly says Marco's desire to work for Diane and Alexis is interesting, and Lucas reveals he can't pursue another man he can't trust after Brad. But does he slip back into that same role, or has his experience reshaped his purpose? If he was once a central figure, does he reclaim his position, or does he step into a new role that reflects his growth? His return could also force other characters to reassess their own roles, leading to power struggles or shifts in group dynamics. Does his return solve existing problems or create new ones? Some may assume that Michael's recovery will automatically fix certain issues. Perhaps his absence had left a void that others couldn't fill. But does his return actually resolve those problems, or does it complicate things further? Maybe his methods have changed, leading to disagreements. Or perhaps his presence reignites old conflicts that had been dormant. On the other hand, his newfound strength or knowledge might be the key to overcoming a major obstacle. The story's central conflicts may evolve based on how his return influences the plot. What does his recovery symbolize for the larger story? On a thematic level, Michael's recovery could represent hope, redemption, or the resilience of the human spirit. Alternatively, it might serve as a commentary on the cost of survival. Does his return come with sacrifices or consequences? His journey could mirror broader themes of the story, such as rebirth, the passage of time, or the inevitability of change. Whether his recovery is a triumphant moment or a bittersweet one, it should resonate with the narrative's deeper messages. As Michael steps back into the story, his presence is more than just a return to the status quo. It's a catalyst for change. The answers to these questions will determine whether his recovery brings closure, sparks new conflicts, or sets the stage for further development. A fully recovered character is rarely the same as they were before, and the ripple effects of their return can redefine relationships, alter the course of the plot, and deepen the story's emotional impact. Would you like to expand on any particular aspect of Michael's return, such as specific character interactions or potential plot twists that could arise from his recovery? Alexis had always prided herself on her ability to make rational decisions, even in the most emotionally charged situations. She believed in weighing the pros and cons, considering every possible outcome before committing to a choice. But when it came to Christina, something always seemed to cloud her judgment. Perhaps it was their shared history, the years of friendship that made her want to believe in the best of her, or maybe it was simply the hope that people could change. Whatever the reason, Alexis had given Christina yet another chance, against her better judgment. And now, as she stood frozen in disbelief, watching the aftermath of Christina's latest betrayal, she felt the crushing weight of regret settle over her. It had started with small things, little lies, broken promises, minor deceptions that Alexis had brushed off as Christina's usual impulsiveness. She had convinced herself that these were just slips, moments of weakness that didn't define who Christina truly was. After all, they had been through so much together. They had laughed, cried, and supported each other through hardships that would have broken lesser friendships. Alexis had believed that loyalty meant standing by someone, even when they stumbled, that true friendship meant forgiveness. But now, faced with the magnitude of Christina's actions, she wondered if she had been a fool all along. The first real warning had come months ago, when Christina had manipulated a mutual friend into lending her a significant sum of money, only to disappear for weeks without a word. When confronted, Christina had spun a tale of desperation. A sick relative mounting medical bills, the kind of story that tugged at Alexis's heartstrings. Against all logic, Alexis had vouched for her, convincing their friend to give Christina more time to repay the debt. She had even offered to cover part of it herself, just to smooth things over. At the time, she had told herself she was doing the right thing, that everyone deserved the benefit of the doubt. But looking back, she realized how easily Christina had played her. Then came the incident at the charity gala. Christina had volunteered to help organize the event, taking charge of the silent auction. At first, everything seemed to be running smoothly, until it was discovered that several high-value items had gone missing. Christina had been the last one seen near the storage room, but when questioned, she had acted offended, even hurt, that anyone would suspect her. Alexis had defended her publicly, insisting there must have been some misunderstanding. Privately, she had asked Christina about it, and Christina had looked her straight in the eyes and sworn she had nothing to do with it. Alexis had wanted to believe her. She had needed to believe her. But the truth had a way of surfacing, no matter how deeply it was buried. A week later, one of the missing items turned up in a pawn shop across town, and the security footage clearly showed Christina pawning it. When confronted with the evidence, Christina had broken down, not in remorse but in anger. She had accused Alexis of betraying her, of not being a true friend, of siding with people who had never liked her anyway. It was a masterful deflection, one that left Alexis questioning her own actions. Had she been too harsh? Had she failed Christina in some way? The guilt had gnawed at her, and in a moment of weakness, she had let it go, telling herself that Christina was just going through a rough patch. Now, standing in the wreckage of Christina's latest act, Alexis could no longer deny the truth. Christina hadn't just stolen again. She had orchestrated an elaborate scheme, implicating others to cover her tracks. Worse, she had used Alexis's trust to do it. The fallout was catastrophic. Relationships were shattered, reputations ruined, and Alexis was left to pick up the pieces, all while grappling with the sickening realization that she had enabled this. She had ignored every red flag, dismissed every warning, because she had wanted to believe in the person she thought Christina could be. The weight of her regret was unbearable. How many people had been hurt because of her refusal to see Christina for who she truly was? How much damage could have been avoided if she had just listened to the voice in the back of her mind telling her to walk away? She had always considered herself a good judge of character, but now she wondered if she had ever really known Christina at all. As the dust settled, Alexis made a silent vow to herself. Never again. She would not let sentiment blind her to the truth. She would not mistake loyalty for willful ignorance. And most of all, she would not allow herself to be used by someone who had never truly valued their friendship. The lesson had come at a steep price, but she would carry it with her for the rest of her life. Christina, meanwhile, was nowhere to be found. She had vanished as soon as her deception was uncovered, leaving behind only chaos and broken trust. Alexis knew she would probably resurface someday, with another sob story, another plea for understanding. But this time Alexis would be ready. This time she would not let regret cloud her judgment. The hardest part wasn't accepting that Christina had betrayed her. It was accepting that she had seen it coming and chosen to look the other way. That was a regret she would have to live with. Felicia believes that if Sunny is voted out, he should refrain from fighting. She believes it may be the healthiest and safest option for his entire family, and she hopes Carly will give it thought. As Felicia leaves, Lucas comes in to inform Carly that Sidwell is Marco's father. He believes it marks the end of their prospective romance, but Carly urges he reconsider and not jump to judgment just yet. Dante Falconeri's birthday brings lots of drama. According to General Hospital recaps, Harrison Chase tells Brooklyn Quartermain that he is struggling to prepare for Dante Falconeri's birthday party. He is genuinely struggling with not being able to have a kid with his wife. As he and BLQ converse, the issue shifts to raising a kid together, and they conclude that it's time to consider adoption. Everyone has come at Sunny's to celebrate Dante, and Olivia Quartermain is overjoyed to spend the day honoring her son. Dante goes outside for a minute with his son Rocco Falconeri, who needs to give a speech soon. Rocco is concerned about all the internet haters who are tormenting his grandmother, Laura Collins, due of her friendship with Sunny. Rocco is concerned that if both grandparents attend his speech, Laura may face further opposition. Sunny overhears and chooses to forego the speech as long as Dante agrees to videotape everything. Rocco thinks it's the right decision, but he feels horrible about advocating it. Thursday, April 17, 2025. Lois Cerullo is conversing with Giovanni Giopalmieri during the party when Lulu Spencer joins them. As they discuss Joe's origins, Lulu notices similarities to the child BLQ gave up a few decades ago. The concept of a villain rising to become the ultimate threat is a narrative device as old as storytelling itself. From ancient myths to modern blockbusters, audiences have been captivated by the emergence of a truly formidable antagonist. One who not only challenges the hero but reshapes the entire world around them. The question of whether a particular villain will ascend to become the greatest menace is one that fuels speculation, debate, and excitement among fans. What makes a villain truly terrifying? Is it their power, their intelligence, their ruthlessness, or some combination of all three? And more importantly, what does their rise say about the world they inhabit, and our own? When examining the potential for a villain to become the biggest threat, one must first consider their origins. A truly great antagonist is rarely born evil. Instead, they are shaped by circumstance, trauma, or a series of choices that lead them down a dark path. This complexity makes them compelling, as their motivations often blur the line between villainy and tragedy. Take, for example, the classic archetype of the fallen hero, a figure who once fought for good but was corrupted by loss, power, or betrayal. Their descent into villainy is often more terrifying than that of a purely malevolent force, because it suggests that even the noblest among us are susceptible to darkness. Another critical factor in a villain's rise is their ability to adapt and evolve. Static antagonists who remain unchanged throughout a story rarely leave a lasting impact. The most memorable villains grow alongside the heroes, learning from defeats, refining their strategies, and becoming increasingly dangerous as the narrative progresses. This dynamic creates a sense of escalating tension, as the audience realizes that each confrontation only makes the villain stronger. A perfect example of this is the way some antagonists turn their enemies' strengths against them, exploiting their morals, relationships, or past mistakes. The more the hero struggles to stop them, the more the villain's threat level rises. Power alone does not make a villain the greatest threat. Many antagonists possess overwhelming strength, but lack the cunning or vision to use it effectively. True dominance comes from a combination of raw power and strategic brilliance. A villain who can outthink their opponents as easily as they can overpower them. This is why mastermind characters often leave a more lasting impression than mere brutes. They manipulate events from the shadows, turning allies against each other, sowing chaos and always staying several steps ahead. When such a villain finally steps into the light, their full plan revealed, the hero, and the audience, realizes just how outmatched they truly are. Yet, perhaps the most terrifying aspect of a rising villain is their ideology. A villain who believes in nothing is dangerous, but one who believes in something they are willing to burn the world for, is unstoppable. Their conviction makes them immune to reason or compromise, and their followers become fanatics willing to die for the cause. This kind of antagonist doesn't just want to defeat the hero. They want to remake reality in their image. Whether their goal is order, chaos, revenge, or transcendence, their unwavering certainty makes them a force beyond mere physical confrontation. The hero isn't just fighting a person, they're fighting an idea. The world's reaction to the villain also plays a crucial role in their ascent. A truly great antagonist doesn't just challenge the protagonist. They expose the flaws in the society around them. Institutions that were once seen as stable crumble under pressure. Heroes are forced to question their beliefs, and ordinary people must choose between resistance and submission. The villain's rise becomes a dark mirror, reflecting the weaknesses and hypocrisies of the world they seek to dominate. In some cases, the villain may even have a point. Their methods are monstrous, but their grievances are real. This moral ambiguity makes their threat even more unsettling, as it forces the audience to grapple with uncomfortable questions. Of course, no villain can become the ultimate threat without opposition, and the hero's role in their rise cannot be ignored. Often, the hero's actions, whether well-intentioned or misguided, unintentionally fuel the villain's growth. A spared life leads to a vengeful return. A moral stand creates a power vacuum, or a moment of hesitation allows the villain to seize an advantage. The relationship between hero and villain is symbiotic. Each shapes the other in profound ways. The greatest villains are those who force the hero to change, to abandon old ideals or embrace new, darker tactics in order to survive. In this way, the villain doesn't just threaten the world, they threaten the hero's very soul. As the narrative unfolds, the stakes must continue to rise. A villain who remains at the same level of threat eventually becomes predictable, even boring. The most compelling antagonists escalate their ambitions, moving from personal grudges to global domination, from mere destruction to existential annihilation. Their plans grow in scale, their resources multiply, and their influence spreads like a plague. By the time the final confrontation arrives, the audience should feel genuine uncertainty. Can the hero actually win? Or has the villain's rise reached a point where victory is impossible? Ultimately, whether a villain becomes the biggest threat depends on their impact. A truly great antagonist leaves scars on the story long after they're gone. Their actions change the world, their words haunt the survivors, and their legacy lingers like a shadow. Even in defeat, they force the hero, and the audience, to confront uncomfortable truths about power, morality, and the nature of evil. Jordan knew Sidwell would accept the bait. She isn't going to just leap in with both feet. Jordan needs to understand exactly what Sidwell expects her to do for him. Still, she'll be intrigued by whatever he delivers in his offer. Jocelyn Jacks confronted. Across town, General Hospital teasers for the next episode offer a sneak clip of Emma glaring at Jocelyn at university. Jocelyn's mission for the WSB includes becoming Henry Dalton's research assistant. Emma sought the post and is truly interested in the subject. At the same time, we receive a disturbing vibe from the lecturer. In any case, Emma appears to confront Jocelyn. However, the undercover agent believes the activist is exaggerating the situation. Friday, April 18, 2025. Meanwhile, spectators will witness Jason Morgan approach Sasha Corbin. Plus, Anna Devane catches up with Felicia Scorpio. In addition, Maxie points out in tomorrow's show that nothing is certain. The blonde was most likely discussing Deception's future mineral transaction with Sidwell. The villain worked hard to get the agreement, including paying Sasha $250,000. Speaking of the payout, Sasha may be open with Jason about her motivations. Sasha is quite independent and does not want to rely on anybody else. At the same time, what if something bad happens as a consequence? General Hospital spoilers. Jason cannot function without Sunny. For those who have been watching the most recent episodes, Jason appears to be evolving into someone who many people are dissatisfied with. Just as the character began to show some promise and progress, the authors doubled down on him being Sunny's boy again. Some folks may not understand why Steve Morgan returned for this. As you can expect, the internet had a lot to say about the topic. Some have even observed, after Michael was set on fire, Jason was sincere about telling Sunny they had to leave the mob, and he was so anxious about Danny's safety. He also felt terrible about what had happened to Michael. How fast that disappeared, and he is back to being Sunny's stooge and actually saying he would kill Jack if he hurts Carly. General Hospital spoilers. What is actually going on with Jason Morgan? Another critic stated, Jason should be involved with a lady, flirting, daydreaming about her, and beginning a relationship. It does not even need to be serious. Just something to balance all of the mob crap, and traveling across the world on rescue missions when he should be focused and present with Danny. And then there was this comment. I agree, I am so weary of Jason being Sunny's lackey. Yes, this is how things have been for many years, so why can't we evolve and change? Why is that an unreasonable request? Change is where things may get intriguing because nothing is so predictable. But they stick to the same old boring dynamics. Of course, General Hospital fans will have to check back every day to see what happens next. ABC broadcasts General Hospital on weekdays. Check the local listings for times. For now, let us know what you think by leaving a comment in the section below. ABC broadcasts General Hospital on weekdays. Check the local listings for times. What's wrong with General Hospital's Brooklyn Rayselzer? Brooklyn, who isn't particularly active on social media, posted a photo from her last dancing competition as a senior in high school in 2014. She posted the photo to her X account. Many of her fans reacted on the shot with, "You look amazing, Brooklyn. Enjoy yourselves and stay safe. I still can't believe you're a senior. Makes me feel ancient, LOL." Along with, "Happy senior year, Brooklyn. Plus, it's your birthday month and you're almost 18. How did you do? You look fantastic." Back in November, there was speculation that Brooklyn was planning to leave Port Charles for permanently. That's because the talented young lady admitted that she has other goals besides acting right now. She told the publication, "I've started applying to nursing schools. That takes up the majority of my time." General Hospital spoilers. What's next for Brooklyn? So, does this indicate she wants to leave General Hospital permanently? Brooklyn didn't say anything, but it's evident she's been thinking about other things lately. She then on, "Because I've known I wanted to be a nurse since I was about 6 years old. I've always said, I want to be a nurse when I grow up. And it's stuck with me, and I've gotten more inspired as I've done volunteer work throughout high school." That being said, Brooklyn stated that she hopes to attend a good school in California, so that she can continue working at General Hospital during her college years. The actress also stated that she is gaining valuable on-screen knowledge for her off-screen future endeavors. She stated, "It was cool to play a smarter character and discover she's working in a lab, because that's something I obviously want to do in real life. She isn't all that different, yet she has changed since she was a child." It goes without saying that General Hospital viewers will have to tune in every day to find out what happens next. General Hospital broadcasts on the ABC network. Check the local listings for times. Tell us what you think of this story. Leave your opinions in the comments section below. Watch this space for the most recent breaking news. Return to celebrating the soaps to learn everything you need to know about the young and the restless, General Hospital, the bold and the beautiful days of our lives, the British royal family, and the most popular celebrities. When a character like Michael returns after a full recovery, it raises several important questions that shape the narrative and influence the dynamics of the story. A character's recovery is not just a return to their previous state, but often a transformation that affects their relationships, goals, and the world around them. As Michael reintegrates into the story, his presence will inevitably shift the balance of power, alter emotional connections, and introduce new conflicts or resolutions. Here are 5 key questions to explore as Michael returns to the narrative after his full recovery. How has Michael changed after his recovery? Recovery is rarely just physical. It often involves emotional, psychological, or even spiritual growth. Has Michael's experience left him with new perspectives, fears, or strengths? Does he return more resilient? Or does he carry hidden scars that affect his decisions? His transformation could make him more cautious, more determined, or even more reckless if he feels he has a second chance at life. The way he has changed will determine how he interacts with other characters and approaches future challenges. How do other characters react to his return? Michael's absence likely impacted those around him. Some may have mourned him, others may have adapted to life without him, and some might have even benefited from his absence. Now that he's back, how do they respond? Are they overjoyed, resentful, or suspicious? Does his return disrupt relationships that had formed in his absence? Some characters may feel guilt for moving on, while others might struggle to trust that he is truly healed. The reactions of those around him can create tension, relief, or even new alliances. What role does Michael play now that he's back? Before his recovery, Michael may have had a specific role: leader, protector, mentor, or even antagonist. But does he slip back into that same role, or has his